Hi guys, welcome back to this Moneycontrol live stream. You're watching Closing Bell with me, Nandita, Khemka, and my colleague here.
Hello there, I'm Yatin, Mota.
And no midweek blues here on the Lal Street and even in the Moneycontrol newsroom, given the fact that it was a day of rebound today, a near 300-point rally on the Nifty, which has taken the Nifty around the 24,300 mark. The broader end of the markets were also, joining in. In fact, if you look at the mid and small cap indices, 2 to 3% kind of gains coming in there. A 900-point rally on the SEnsex as well. So clearly a day of rebound, and the best part is that we managed to sustain those gains throughout the day.
Correct.
And ended almost around that high point of the day. India VIX has also eased off by another 13%, Yatin, around those 16 levels now. Mind you, it had gone back to the 20 levels earlier in the week. But we are back to 16 levels on the India VIX index. The NSE advanced decline ratio very strong, almost 6 stocks advancing to 1 stock declining, 6:1. That was the NSE advanced decline ratio. All of the sectors were joining in the up move today, led by energy, metals, autos. These are some of the top movers. Also realty, Yatin, some relief as the government has moved the amendment to provide relief for realty buyers under the LTCG regime. And now finance bills amendment, with that amendment, taxpayers can now choose between 12.5% without indexation and 20% with indexation, right? So this would of course be for property acquired before 23rd of July. Also in terms of other gainers, ONGC, that was a clear winner today, almost an 8% rally coming in on the back of good reports from brokerages and target price upgrades as well. Coal India was the other one. Adani Twins were doing well today. Power Grid was the other one that was doing well. On the flip side, few losers. Good to see only a few losers on the Nifty. Eicher Motors, that reports earnings tomorrow. Ahead of that, it was under pressure. IndusInd Bank, Tech Mahindra, some of the consumption names which have been seeing good traction throughout the week. HUL and Britannia saw some bit of profit taking. But that was about the benchmarks and the frontline indices. But Yatin, mid caps, lot of action, lot of result reactions as well.
Clearly, and I think the confidence of the market came in from the Deputy Governor, statement from the Bank of Japan side that they will keep the rate regime low. If the market reacts adversely, probably they will not hike rates. I think that was a big statement from the Bank of Japan, team, which probably, made the market slightly more confident. And given the fact that the yen carry trade has some negative impact on the markets, probably these kind of statements have soothed the nerves of the investors. Now, as Nandita was mentioning, a very strong day, advanced decline ratio, almost reaching that 8:2 level. And if you look at the market statistics, clearly mid caps were winning. Now, ahead of the Bharat net tender opening, which is there tomorrow, we had a whole host of these fiber optic and equipment players in the fiber optic space moving in trades. So Tejas Networks was up 12%, HFCL was up 12%, Sterlite Technologies was up 9%. So all of these stocks will remain in focus. Let's see, whether or not this tender concludes, because it has been postponed earlier as well. In the other gainers, we had RK Forgings rebounding in trade, 8% higher for that one. And clearly oil and gas stocks have stolen the thunder today. ONGC, Oil India, all of these stocks moving smartly in trade, 7-8% higher for both of these stocks. Nandita, Zomato, that is one stock which is in focus, 6% higher for that stock. And Dipinder Goyal tweeted that now, the people who order cash on delivery food, if they don't have, change, probably you can pay the delivery boy in full, and probably the residual amount or the balance rupees that will come into your wallet.
Okay.
So that is one new feature that Zomato has, got in, probably got the market excited as well. In the losers, Shree Cement down 4%, Gland after a week set of numbers down 4%, ACI, East India Hotels, all of these stocks are witnessing some profit taking. But, let's not talk about losers because it's a day of winners.
That's
and,
true.
we are well above the 24,200 mark, which is a crucial support zone for the markets.
That's true, of course, confidence back in the markets, and good to see Zomato inching very closer to the highest target prices, right? 280 or thereabouts. That was among the highest target price on the stock, and it's at 265 at the current juncture. So it's moving very steadily towards those targets. But Energy Pack was all charged up today. It's only pertinent that I have ONGC as one of the top picks today on my radar. Shares were obviously the top Nifty gainer, almost 8% uptick coming in. Analysts see more upside. They have cited valuation comfort as a reason for upgrading the target prices as well. The Q1 EBITDA that came in for the company in the first quarter had beaten estimates on the back of lower other expenses as well as lower raw material prices. Brokerage houses have raised the target price post the June quarter results. Let's take you through all of them one by one. Jefferies, has a buy rating on the stock. It has revised the target price by 20 rupees from 390 rupees to 410 rupees. They've obviously cited the valuation comfort and KG D6 production ramp up. That has been the key monitorable, and that's what Jefferies has also pointed out. The management has retained the guidance of ramping up the KG basin output from the third quarter onwards, and it is expected to achieve peak production level of 45,000 barrels per day of crude by FY25 end, and for the gas production also, the peak production level of 10 mm SCMD will be achieved by FY25 end itself. And KG production actually contributes somewhere around 11% to FY26 consolidated EBITDA. That's what Jefferies is pointing out. Let's also see what CLSA is saying. It has an outperform rating, target price of 330 rupees. Again, valuations attractive and healthy dividend yield. That's one reason cited by CLSA for maintaining a positive outlook on this stock. And it also pointed out that the EBITDA slightly was in fact above estimates. Investec, I think that's the most optimistic on the stock, because it has upgraded the stock price target by over 100 rupees. From 230 rupees, it has upped the target price to 350 rupees buy rating, but it has maintained a conservative base against a poor execution track record. So it is saying that execution track record will be key going forward. It's optimistic about the production guidance that the company has maintained. Execution, of course, will be the key. That's what it has reiterated. And it has guided for 3% and 8% production CAGR for oil and gas over FY24 to FY27. So all in all, positive brokerage views all around. And the stock is also up 60% on a YTD basis. But still, brokerages feel that the valuations are fairly reasonable.
Yes, and clearly, Nandita, and I think now the Oil and Gas Ministry also wants ONGC to increase production. And I think that is a silver lining here, that not only the earnings should improve, but the production and the overall sentiment in the sector should improve, because it's been quite a time that ONGC has not been able to really ramp up the production as was expected. But I think now probably the market is eyeing the ramp up in production, not only domestically, but yes, via ONGC Videsh as well. But the stock in focus today was Lupin, opened with a gap up 4.5-5% higher for this pharma stock after strong Q1 earnings. Margins was much ahead of the expectations, and in an interview to CNBC TV 18, the management team said that from here on there is upward bias to the margin guidance of 20%, and moving ahead in the medium term they are targeting the levels of EBITDA margins to be close to 23 to 24%. With two new blockbuster drug launches in the near term, probably the stock could see some analyst upgrades. Now, Nomura has a buy call on Lupin with a target price of 1952. Most importantly, the Q1, according to Nomura, showed healthy growth across markets, expansion of EBITDA margins, and also existed for the Glumeza settlement. There was a provision in the P&L account, and if you remove that, one-time settlement charge, the margins came in at 24.7% versus the expectations, or the reported number of 23%. So, very strong on margins. Probably from the coming quarters there could be some higher R&D costs which could hurt margins, but yes, the new launches could offset that pain as well. So yes, very strong quarter from Lupin, and good commentary for the management, and let's hope that today post the conference call there would be some upgrades from the analyst community, at least with the targets.
That's true. Of course, margins at multi-quarter high, and of course, we are seeing a lot of buying interest when it comes to pharma. At a time when other sectors get hammered, you always see defensives like pharma and FMCG come to the rescue. So, off late, amid all the sell-off, pharma stocks have been garnering a lot of attention. But the other stock on my list is TVS Mota. Good set of numbers, and of course stock reacted to that as well. Hit a fresh 52-week high today. Brokerages have maintained their bullish view on the stock. In fact, Jefferies once again has a buy rating here. Target price has been raised to 3,000 rupees per share. It's somewhere around 2,574 at the current juncture. Q1 EBITDA and recurring PAT were in line with estimates. They were much higher. I think they were at highs. But even though they were slightly better than estimates for Jefferies. EBITDA margin rose somewhere around 10 basis points on a quarter-on-quarter basis to 11.5%. Jefferies has also said that it would be a key beneficiary of the demand revival in the two-wheeler space, both in domestic as well as export markets. Two-wheeler demand is expected to go up, of course, in the wake of above normal monsoon forecast as well in the month of August and September. And, aside of that, an improving franchise is something that would drive continued margin expansion for the company. Of course, there's a lot of product launches that is lined up from the TVS stable, and that could improve the franchise as a whole, and that would drive margin expansion for the company. It has 3 product launches in India in the second half of the current calendar year, CY24. And Norton launches will start from CY25 and from next year, towards the end of next year. And Jefferies is also expecting the earnings per share to more than double over FY24 to FY27. So that's one very bullish view coming in. On the other hand, Macquarie has also got an outperform rating target price at 2,783 rupees. Gross margin had surprised positively. That's what Macquarie is saying about the numbers. A highest ever EBITDA margin came in line with estimates. Multiple new launches is lined up for the second half of FY25. Same thing being pointed out by Macquarie as well as Jefferies. And investment in subsidiaries will be key to track for, from a free cash flow standpoint. If you look at the stock, Yatin, on a YTD basis, it has just gained somewhere around 27%. But if you look at the 1-year chart, a 90% uptick.
Absolutely.
So for this year, maybe the gains have been tempered a bit, but it could, go up from here. Because of the monsoon picking up, and secondly because of all the new launches that are lined up from.
Absolutely, and I think Nandita, Ola Electric is the market leader in electric scooter, but the second largest company in the electric vehicle space, in the two-wheeler space, is TVS Motors. Obviously, Ola is not that profitable, but TVS Motors is. Let's see how TVS Motors really competes in the EV scooter space, because that is one emerging space wherein TVS Motors has got lead to the other listed players. I don't know how they compete or try to match the market share of Ola, but yes, this is one stock we need to watch out for. Strong outperformance, as Nandita is saying, on a year-to-date basis as well as on a 1-year basis.
That's true. A couple of more stocks that have been focused tomorrow, Yatin, as I mentioned. Earnings-wise, Eicher Motors, Oil India will be reporting, and so will LIC India, Bharat Forge and SAIL. And of course, we have that all-important RBI policy tomorrow. And this time, I was just chatting with Lata ma'am earlier in the day. It is the talk that will be in focus more than the walk, because the language of the RBI governor will be watched out in the wake of the recent global turmoil that we have seen. They could, in fact, the governor could perhaps may hint at a softening of the stance. Obviously, this is speculation, but that is something that could be warranted at a time when the global, markets or global economy may be staring.
But will there be a rate cut tomorrow?
No, there's no chance of a rate cut for sure. But stance, the language around stance is something that would be watched out for. Rate cut is completely ruled out, of course. But of course, we'll be getting you live coverage on the entire RBI, announcement, as well as post-policy presser with a battery of guests. So don't forget to tune in tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. That's when the governor will give his speech. And of course, stay tuned to Moneycontrol for all your other news and updates as well. And come back and join us tomorrow morning, first for opening bell and then for the RBI coverage. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Goodbye from me and Yatin.